Welcome inside Boca Ice Center for the second week of your Florida Atlantic Owls taking on the M3 Miami Hurricanes. Hi everybody, my name is Devin Serra, joined alongside John tonight on the broadcast for you here in this exhibition matchup. The Hurricanes, who played the M3 Owls 2 weekends ago with a 5-4 overtime loss, get their crack at the men's 2 team. John, big news for this FAU group this week with the addition of a former NCAA Division I talent, Jackson Nieuwendyk, the son of Joe Nieuwendyk, a 3-time Stanley Cup champion, has joined the Owls, and he is a welcome sight to their top line.
Yeah, Jack Nieuwendyk, son of the 3-time Cup champion, is going to be joined along Brady Baser and Jake Murphy on that first line. We're going to see what they have to offer here against Miami. Should be a good one coming up.
He's a former product at Canisius College, played as many as 56 games at the Division I level. He also spent time in the United States Hockey League with Sioux City and Central Illinois. He's a touted talent. He'll wear number 92 tonight on that top line, as you mentioned, with Brady Baser and Jake Murphy. To give you our recap, FAU comes into this game at 2-1. They had a split with the Florida Gators last week, a 6-0 shutout win for Rocco Bruno, the 4th of his career on Friday. Followed it up with a win over Georgia Tech 6-2, and then a 3-1 loss on Sunday, which head coach Christian Long just mentioned the boys just felt a little bit tired. Their first weekend of the series, 3 games is not easy to play no matter where you are at in a season. So that's the challenge they face. On the other side, Tom Amello and the Miami Hurricanes at 1-0-2 in the year. They're coming off a split with the Lynn University Fighting Knights, the rivals of this FAU group. And Lynn had a 5-4 overtime victory. But this Miami group looks a little bit different tonight, shuffling their lines.
Yeah, we'll see what Miami comes out. They're going to have a tough challenge having to deal with the newcomer and having to deal with Murphy and Baser. Murphy has 5 goals on the year so far, and Baser has 4. Baser also has 3 assists. It's going to be a very action-packed top line, and it's going to be a lot for Miami's defenders to have to deal with.
John, we want to real quick, before we get ready for puck drop here, give us some takeaways you have from this FAU group. What do they have to do to take care of business against a team that's a division lower than that?
Well, I think in this situation, less is more. They got to simplify the game. They got to get pucks deep, get in the forecheck, get it in front. They're the better team on paper, so really what they have to do is just not mess up.
Not mess up. It's easier said than done for an FAU group that is very aggressive under Christian Long. Those are the keys for this one. And on the other side, Miami, you got to think they have to get off to a good start in this game. They only have one goaltender in net tonight in Max Hoffman, number 29. We'll give you the starting lineups in a moment. It's the debut of an NCAA product, Jackson Nieuwendyk. And your Florida Atlantic Owls get ready for their 4th game of the season. starting netminders for both sides. First, the Miami Hurricanes. They turn to Max Hoffman out of Bryn Athyn, Pennsylvania. Also played against the M3 Owls 2 weekends ago. Last year, 6-8 and a 1 record, 5.07 goals against average, .832 save percentage with, at the time, was AAU Men's Division II. Rocco Bruno gets the start for your FAU Owls. He is 1-1, coming off their loss to Florida, but had his shutout last Friday, hit 4th of his career. And Rocco will have to be good against a very solid starting lineup for the Miami Hurricanes. On defense, Max Metzimer along with Evan Zadakis, who had an assist on Riker Ferry's goal last week, or 2 weekends ago. Riker Ferry, one of the notable scratches for Miami in this lineup tonight. They'll start out there with Ryan Y, Raymond Owens, and Matthew Callahan. Your Owls turn to the third line. Jason Seefeld at center. Along the wings, a couple of former M3 products. Christian Cuccia and Ed Georgiano. Tommy Ziemba and Sean Vasiliev make up the blue line. Here we go from week number 2 in the Owls M2 season. Puck into the Miami zone. They get the first touch of the game. Flying over the far wing, Matthew Callahan. Quick pass into the inside, tried to drop it back with Ryan Wybe, and it was intercepted. Georgiano is there to control things. And this group that is looking to get a spark, and cool to see Christian Long in his 3rd season bring out that 3rd group, get some starting experience. Sean Vasiliev gets moved around by Matthew Callahan. Pitch to the board. Seefeld's there to clean it up. Cuccia, with a player losing his glove on the Miami side, races up left wing. Ziemba in the middle. Far side, Georgiano drops it for Ziemba. Open lane for Georgiano. Cut off quickly by Evan Zadakis defensively. Now Owls turn around. Ziemba will just dump. And the first change of the game for the Owls. And we get a look at this new top line. Here comes number 92 on your screen in white from right to left. As a quick turnover, Rocco Bruno has the knife and into his glove, as that was forced on by Jack Jusko with a heads-up play.
Yeah, quick turnover off the change there. Good job by Bruno getting his glove in there.
Yeah, a bit of a pop shot save right there. He knifed the puck out with the stick.
Yeah, kind of a weird play. Good job by Bruno having the wherewithal to get that one out of the air. Face off in the right circle now.
And here is number 92 in white, Jackson Nieuwendyk. He is the son of Joe Nieuwendyk, a 3-time Stanley Cup champion, 1985 27th overall draft pick by the Calgary Flames, where he was a captain from 91 to 95. Owls turn it over on the offensive zone. Back the other way quickly. Max Phillips over the blue line and turn around. Check that. Rafael Morin, wearing number 14 in green and orange. Miami goes from left to right. Owls right to left. In front, here is the newcomer, Jackson Nieuwendyk. Up to the point for Oliverio. Wanted to get a tip shot in front, and it was off of a Miami stick, out of play.
Yeah, already with that line, getting the early pressure. Going to get a face-off in the offensive zone here. Let's see if they can get something out of it. With
Jackson Nieuwendyk moving up to the top line, who they'll keep out here. That moves down Ronan Keenan wearing number 93, the transfer sophomore from UNLV. Nieuwendyk wins the faceoff. Shot quickly from Baser. Turned aside by Hoffman. Catching up to the far wing. And a hit quickly onto the boards. Down is a Miami player after a crunch. And still down with the whistle now.
Talk about making your presence known. Nieuwendyk already 2 minutes into the game has laid a huge hit on a Miami player. And he is very slow to get up.
Nieuwendyk's a big body, and we'll wait now. That's
it looked like a clean hit from what I saw. It didn't seem like it was anything dirty about it. Just a big man running into a smaller man.
It's number 2, Lou Burgett over there. Devin Serra joined alongside John Burke tonight in the booth, and that's not a welcoming sight for Miami fans, as getting help to the bench goes Lou Burgett out of Woodbury, Minnesota, helped by his teammates Owen Gupta carrying there. Not what you want to see, but like you said, Jackson Nieuwendyk's a big body, 6'1", 172 on our chart. And what we'll talk about a lot tonight is what kind of skill he brings to that top group. He's already playing with the best players in FAU's system.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what these guys can come up with here tonight. Very new chemistry. This actually is the first time they've even skated together. A lot of moving pieces here to get his eligibility in for this game.
Speaking of moving pieces, Bella with a quick shot went through the pads of Hoffman but skirted wide. At the point, Carozzo dinks one off of a Miami player towards the net, and now they'll come back out. Turnaround try. That's the 3rd time I've done that in a weekend, folks. That's Henry Bonnet wearing number 28, the freshman. Miami takes over. Max Metzimer just flings it into open ice, and it's turned over, stolen for a moment, and now Bonnet will send it past the red line, and that causes a icing on the Owls. 17:39 in this first of 2 games tonight for the M3 and M2 Owls. M2 on the ice here against M3 Miami. And following this one at 9:45, the M3 team will take on Jacksonville. First year as a program and first year part of College Hockey South. Draw to the left of Rocco Bruno, dug in by Ronan Keenan, who falls into that second line, replaced by Jackson Neuendijk on the top group. Still a talented line, however. He's tagging up below the wings. Blaise Pepe chases in after it. The freshman can't get inside for it. Miami back to the zone. Biller, nice feed to Pepe, and he had a moment to shoot at it, but he couldn't handle the feed. Now at the point, freshman helping him out in Bonnet, but Miami's able to take that away and send it towards Bonnet. He'll go cross ice. Wants to feed Declan Catone. In the neutral zone, they play it off of the shoulder of Pepe. He'll send a long shot in, trying to get fresh line changes, and out comes Stabile racing from the bench. Daniel Tove joins him. Banked off the glass. Raymond Owens couldn't find it. At the red line, Owls just patiently trying to get their quick passes off, get going, get the legs moving. Nice move by Owens to sidestep a defender. He rushes in now over the left wing. Got one man, drop pass, taken quickly off by Stabile, cutting the angle. And Miami retreats once again, calling for it. McGuire over the blue line, just a dump and change situation for him. Sean Vasiliev along the boards. Turnover from Stabile. Miami, quick shot on Bruno, stepped aside with the pads. Loose in the slot, giving up. A green sweater up at the point, shot once again, pad stopped by Bruno. And Ziemba finds some open room and will just flip it out to the neutral zone. Sent immediately back by Ricky Castrocani. Miami jumping on some turnovers by the Owls, forcing that. That's what they need to do. And coming to this one, John, FAU, obviously the more skilled team. They have a little bit of a deeper lineup, but they're a well-coached team on that Miami side with Tom Amello.
Yeah, another thing that will be a storyline to look for here is the chemistry that the Owls can have, switching their lines up with the new addition. Some sloppy passing from both teams here. So first real offensive time in a zone by Miami there. Got a few good shots off. Let's see if FAU can get some pressure themselves.
Yeah, just getting the legs underneath them. Only their 4th game of the season. Off the ice goes Vasiliev, replaced by number 2 and Finn Moore. A race for it ensues. Moore gets help coming from Oliverio. Scary collision. Falling backwards, Chris Michelini. Backhand try. Another pad stop by Bruno. From the end boards. It's into the pocket of Michelini. He has the only goal for Miami dating back to their M3 series against the Owls. Riker Ferry not in the lineup tonight along with the Stullian. Cuccia onside. And a quick stop by Hoffman as Cuccia looked for his first as an M2 Owl.
Yeah, just a nice little outlet pass there. Good little opportunity for the Owls. Tried to beat him in that pad side, but couldn't beat him there.
And Cuccia is an underrated speedster. We talk about Brady Beza being the fastest player on the ice. I think Cuccia can give him a run for his money, John.
Yeah, just tried to get that right over his blocker into the top left side, but see if they can do something off this faceoff.
Max Hoffman is going to have to be good tonight if this Miami group wants a chance at upending this talented group. Quick shot by Finn Moore, in and out of the glove. Down trying to scoop it. Hoffman couldn't do it. Giorgiano over there with Oliverio, and it's knifed out. Cuccia has help from Finn Moore. They will box out the Miami rushers. Nathan Koo. Cuccia, stretch pass connects west to east. Goes looking to cut inside towards the net. Didn't get a shot off. Well defended from McGuire. Comes out to the half boards. Hurricanes and green sweaters find some room, and we've got a whistle. It was on the opposite end of the ice. I thought it came from this side. There's another game going on across from us.
I also thought the whistle was blown, but that's the joys of Boca ice here. We got a breakaway here. Man in front, almost scores, went right over the net. Tried to get the backhand in there.
That was Jackson Neuendijk setting up Brady Beza, showing off some of that skill set. Wearing the white mitts, a little bit of an odd setup, obviously temporary. He just started skating with this team a couple of days ago. Nieuwendyk up to the point. Catone feeds him. Nieuwendyk takes a look towards the net. Blocked off the backside of a Miami sweater. Getting to it. Deeper goes Bezier. Now trying to keep the play alive in the far end. Henry Bonnet. Fished up Bezier. And that's a good job by Miami defensively to prevent another scoring opportunity. Nieuwendyk directs the puck from the far end and a quick send in by Bonnet. Miami just trying to recollect themselves, doing a solid job defensively. 7 minutes gone in this first. Cross ice feed. Wants to go between the defender. Bruno made the stop and gets help on the back end by Ziemba. Good job moving in towards the net by Raymond Owens.
Yeah, kind of an accidental dangle there. He went between his legs. Don't know if he meant to do that, but it would have been a beautiful goal if he could have pulled it off. And we got an odd man break here.
Good feed by Murphy
one-on-one
up to
if he could just
Bezier.
make a man miss, but going to wait for the teammates.
Evan Sadakis defending him over there, John. Now he gets it back. Bezier, nice feed in front for Biller, winding up. And a good block off the skate of Max Mensimer. Up this near half boards. Biller can't get to it, and it will come down to the trapezoid of the Owls' end. Ziemba is there. Lone pursuer in there, Jack Jusko. Jusko has a man up at the point, wanted to feed Sadakis, couldn't handle it. Biller now has opportunity there with a man behind him. Drops the pass, takes a look towards the net. They wanted to feed it in front, and once again, well defended. Mensimer, one of the starting defensemen out there, had an assist on Riker Ferry's goal a couple of weeks ago against the M3 Owls. Now quickly over the line. Ronan Keenan, the second line out there. Keenan, the transfer, cuts hard to the net, and he gets poke checked on the play. Remy Kagan defensively did a good job to keep him from cutting towards Max Hoffman. Now Miami finds they lose the puck. Thought they would get it out. Biller stops. Tries to get between two defenders. Callahan steals it. Stretch feed for Ryan Y. Y wanted to return it, and nothing but white sweaters there as blowing a tire in front of us, Leon Biller. Ronan Keenan is there to clean up the loose change. Off the end boards.
High pace here for this one. FAU really trying to get a goal in. They should have a goal, to be honest. They've had a lot of opportunities. Let's see if they can get some sustained pressure here.
Not a lot of stoppages to start this game, John. Oliverio is into the attack. Once again, centered it up, and it went off a piece of Hoffman. Allows Miami to reset. No, they don't get it out of the zone. They tried to bank it off the half boards. Oliverio keeps the pressure on. That's Sam Watson on the far end. Trying to cut in. Rather not Watson, number 15. David Ross. Second group towards the net. Stabile. Shot deflected up at the point. One more time. Looking, and they score! That one was redirected in front. Might have been Stabile. And with 10:47 to go in the first, the Owls strike.
Yeah, it was a great job of getting the puck on net. All period, they've been trying to get pucks on net. Good things happen when you get pucks on net. The rebound's right there, and they put it in to make this one a 1-0 game.
I believe the assist will go to Bonnet, who sent that one towards the net. Stabile picks up a dirty goal, but they all count the same. It's FAU rewarded, as you said. They had a really solid forecheck. Not a lot of stoppages in this. Neither side with a penalty so far.
Tireless pace so far.
That's a great goal for this second line. That's a little bit different with the addition of Jackson Nieuwendyk on the top line. Now, Owls will get out of their own zone. They'll keep the second group out there. Stabile, the most recent scorer, feeds it for David Ross. He's got Tove in the middle. Toe drags past the defender, wants to center it in front. Stabile can't get to it as Miami clogs up the middle. They have opportunities with numbers the other way. Cutting hard to the net and getting sealed quickly was Rafael Morin. This is Ross. They've had this line out there for a while. They don't look a step behind. Catone gets smushed to the near corner boards. Christopher Henry Skinger in there. Now help on the end coming from Tove. He gets a push. Stabile finds it and will race up ice. Stolen away as the Owls are making fresh changes. Got to be careful here. They had a couple of too many men penalties against Florida in their 3-1 loss last week. Miami persistent. Wanting to start the forecheck. Good job preventing that from happening. It's Aaron Lentz. Georgiano. Sophomore towards the net. Sailed it high. Catching on this left side. Cuccia. Just wanting to cycle the puck. Left to right they go. Deeper. Cuccia thought about going to the blue line. We'll cut it deeper for Seefeld. He absorbs the check. It's loose in front. Backhand scores! And that's the first as an M2 Owl for Christian Cuccia. 2-0.
Yeah, once again, just great pressure by the Owls here. Great move to get right into the low slot, make a move. Just like that, it's 2-0 Owls.
Beautiful job. The third line capitalizes there, John. And
yeah, if you can get production from your third line when you got top two lines like this team does, you're going to be very hard to beat.
Yeah, we credited Miami blocking a bunch of shots, causing turnovers, but sometimes it's just too much in too short of a time.
When you create chaos, there's just not much you can do.
Yeah, certainly. And now the Hurricanes find themselves in an early hole in this one after 2 goals from Stabile and Cuccia in the last 3 minutes. They've got an opportunity. Pad stop might have hit the stick of Rocco Bruno. Cuccia breaks out, wanted to feed it for Georgiano, and Lentz is ultimately there after the sendback by a Miami sweater. Good connection, Georgiano. Stick lifted by Evans and Dacus. Moving the puck, Metzimer along the wall. Up but not out. Georgiano holds, cuts around one defender, goes hard to the net. Pad stop by Hoffman. Metzimer in this group tired. They want a stretch pass, and it will not connect, and that causes an icing. And they were looking for number 92 over there, Nathan Koo.
Yeah, like you said, tired legs for Miami right now. A lot of pressure from the Owls, making them ice the puck there, and they're not going to be able to get off the ice for a change. Another great opportunity for FAU here to make it even 3-0.
And look who's back out there. New addition, the top group, Jackson Nieuwendyk. Third face-off win for him. Up at the point. Finn Moore dropped it for Oliverio, who sent one intentionally wide. Nieuwendyk wanted to quickly backhand it, and it came to 92 in green and Koo. Directed, Metzimer. Cross-ice feed. Koo loses handle of it. Oliverio off the boards, and Nieuwendyk, a big body, just absorbed a check from behind by Metzimer.
What a reverse hit. Are you kidding me?
Number 92 there in white, and it's iced by the Owls, but that's the kind of experience you get with a Division I guy against the smaller Metzimer. Another strong win for the newcomer. Finn Moore tries to get in there. Miami wants to wrap the far post. They can't do it. Sandwiched out, Ryan Y. And here's Nieuwendyk. Can he show off some of that speed? Races up left wing, staying on side, looking for options. Now backhand towards the net as it was deflected and ultimately came into the paraphernalia of Hoffman. 7:48 to go in this first period.
Yeah, for Miami, you just got to keep yourselves in the game here. Maybe if it's just getting to the end of this period, keeping it a 2-0 game, you really got to slow it down, try to get some sustained pressure on the other side, because right now it's just all Owls.
All Owls in the dots, too. They have completely asserted themselves in the face-off circle. Murphy backhanded it, looking for Finn Moore. He ultimately gets it through, but then it comes to the blade of McGuire. Quick passes, Y. Oliverio, the last defender from Raymond Owens. He gets away from him. Baser has speed, stays onside with Nieuwendyk. Couldn't handle that short pass. Arm in the air as winning that race for the puck was David Ross, or rather Henry Bonnet.
Yeah, another icing from Miami here. They just look outmatched early on in this one. If you're the coach, what would you tell them to make them turn it around?
Tom Amello's a very strong-minded person. He comes from New Jersey. He's a former fireman. Miami, if they want to slow this game down, one, they've got to keep it off of this forecheck's sticks, and they got to pressure at the point. They've really got to force FAU to get too aggressive and get some rushes the opposite way. They've got to play tougher. They have to really help out Hoffman. There can't be any rebounds in front because, like you saw with Stabile, if there's too much traffic at some point, they're just going to keep pounding it forward past Hoffman, who's a very good netminder. Here's a shot from the point by Catone, misses well wide. Catching up to it on that far wing. Henry Bonnet, and that one's towards Hoffman again, and he made a nice job sealing the far post.
What Miami's got to do a good job of here is not losing concentration. They can't give up effort on their defensive assignments. They can't give up free rebounds like you were just saying. They really can't let this game get away from them.
And take your pick. It's such a deep FAU roster. I know they lost to Florida, and some of that depth wasn't showing out, but when they are at their best, it's very tough for any team's first and second lines to keep up with the third and fourth lines that FAU M2 has established.
And if you're the Owls, you just want more of exactly what you're doing.
Turnover by them. That's a shot from Keenan. Never got through. Biller wanted to backhand it back in front. Broken stick down. They set up. Keenan in front. Tried to put it past the weak side. Back to Raton now. Couldn't handle that feed. And Miami is out. Boy, Keenan nearly had a wide open just tap in goal. And he couldn't handle the feed. Now look out. Big collision.
I want that one back.
Huge. Raymond Owens, good to see him skate away. Already one player down in this game for Miami. Biller back on side. Wants to get inside towards the net. Keenan, long range, gets it into his grasp. Off the boards. Skating wide with it now. Ross gets around one defender. Or rather, Pepe. And Owens allows his team some time to change defensively. A quick shot on Bruno was easily stopped, and a little extra after the fact from Chris Michelini.
Yeah, other than that one little stint early on in the first period, Hurricanes have really had no sustained pressure here. Most of their shots have been off breaks or, fast rushes, but what they really need to do here, just for their own sake, is get 1 or 2 minutes in the zone for their confidence, for their legs, for everything. And just like that, it's a turnover right again.
Capitalizing on mistakes. That's the only way Miami has an opportunity right now to get back in this game. As you mentioned, if they can find some way to just set up a forecheck and give them a little bit of momentum. Tove is here. Through one defender.
It's just really hard to play a game when you're skating backwards the entire time.
Yeah, true. And they have to stay like that defensively. Can't allow them behind the forwards behind their defense. Lentz closes in on his forward. Block loses an edge. They wanted to get it to Stabile. Calling for it in the middle is David Ross. Bit of a hybrid setup here. We're seeing some new lines put together. Ross playing with Stabile and Tove. He had time with Ronan Keenan. Now Georgiano and Cuccia back out there. They have the latest goal with this group. 4:52 to go in the first. Quick turnover. Mensimer back over the line. Shot from the high slot. Whistled past the left post. Cuccia in the middle. Mensimer, another opportunity, and a nice glove save by Bruno.
Yeah, turnover in the zone. Had a really good opportunity for some offense there. You'd like to see him shoot maybe a little lower for a rebound. They had a few numbers in the zone. I think they had 3 guys to FAU's 2 there. But let's see if they can do something with this offensive draw.
As you mentioned, they need to find a way to set up some sort of forecheck. They can't win a face-off right now to save their life. But it's turned over here, trying to cut to the net. Good help on the defensive far end of Bruno by Finn Moore. Georgiano. Toe drags, gets past the defense. Nice move. Couldn't get a shot on Hoffman, as carrying with it now is Remy Kagan. Intercepted by Cuccia. Calmly wanted to find Georgiano. He's out there now with Seafelt, Finn Moore, and Oliverio. Nathan Koo. And FAU, you see here, John, they just close those lanes so quickly, and Miami doesn't have a time to really break it out, and this is iced by the Owls, so we'll get another face-off in their zone.
Yeah, even when they're not at their best, some very sloppy passing from the Owls in their own zone here, but they get back on defense so quickly, and their defenders don't pinch too much, so it's a great job of shutting the Hurricanes down right now.
Yeah, they really spread the ice out very well. I think that's an underrated compliment to how Christian Long and his assistants, Mark Runner and Josh Haverstrom, want to have this team play. It starts defensively for them because their offense is the story. Michelini sent one towards the net. We get some extra wax at Bruno, and trying to play innocent is Matthew Callahan.
Yeah, no team's going to want you to take a swipe with the goalie. I will say it was a little bit of chaos. It kind of goes both ways. If the offensive team, you're swiping at it. If you're the defensive team at it, you're swiping at the player who's swiping at it. So nothing wrong either way there.
Bruno's no stranger to guys trying to chop at him. He's a smaller body, and for him it's all about mental because he is such a fundamentally sound goaltender. He trains like heck in the offseason with, I believe, Justin Harshaw. Murphy over the line with Baser. They lost handle of it. Raton can't touch it or else it would have been offside. Baser now back in the Boca Ice logo. Michelini directs the puck off the boards, causes a turnover, gets it for the defenseman Max Phillips, wanted a stretch pass for Michelini, and it's into the possession of Bruno, where he'll elect to hold it.
Yeah, good job getting there off the bounce there. That puck could go a bunch of different ways. It could bounce off the board. Could be a bunch of different bad situations. Good job just getting in for the draw there.
Jackson Nieuwendyk back out there at 92 in white. And how cool would it be if we could get Joe Nieuwendyk, a shot of him in the building, somewhere watching his son, Canisius product, just got his equipment this week, had to have it shipped over here from, I believe it was Buffalo. Baser wants Murphy in the middle, stolen away. Here's a break for Miami. If they hurry, they'll have odd numbers. Shot on Bruno is easily seen by Ryan Y.
Yeah, all these good opportunities for the Hurricanes. Doesn't feel like they're getting many great chances out of them. They're not maximizing their potential here. I would love to see if they could just get a shot low, maybe play for a rebound there. If you got numbers, just you can't just keep shooting at his glove.
Sure, right? It's the argument of, do you get a puck on net? But the situation elects, do you have numbers and get Rocco potentially moving from right to left? That's a very
well, if you're the
key.
Hurricanes, you come out here, you haven't played great, you look outmatched, definitely want to start chaos, and here's a break, and right again, right at the glove. But that time I will say, 1-on-3, definitely the right play to shoot him. But I maybe try him on the other side. He's looking like he's got a strong glove right now. Looks like he's seeing everything clearly. Try to get some traffic in front of the net. Set something up. Let's see if they can finally win a face-off here.
Yeah, they've been running shortened stints with these lines. They've been cycling in and out every 30 to 40 seconds. They bring out the second group for FAU. Up at the point, Metzimer, a rare face-off win for Miami, but immediately taken back. Henry Bonnet wants to control behind the goal. Biller feeds Keenan. He's got Pepe with him in the middle. Thinks about a shot, takes it and scores! Ronan Keenan with a nice bullet over the shoulder. It's 3-0.
Right above that right blocker. Beautiful snipe on the breakaway. 3-0 Owls. Just like that. Hurricanes thought they could have had a little bit of pressure, maybe a little bit of something going, make this a one-goal game. One breakaway, and just like that, 3 goals down.
That was set up nicely by Biller at the blue line to get it past those two defenders, sandwiching him. And off to the races went Keenan, the transfer from UNLV's men's Division I team, won a national championship with them last year.
So far, it looks like FAU has a definite speed advantage on this one. They've had a few fast breaks where they've gotten back and a few fast breaks where they've gotten past the defense and they've been able to capitalize.
Yeah, just a fundamentally sound team. Of course, Miami, an M3 team this year in College Hockey South, with the changeover from AAU and what was going to be NACHL to now the ACHA. 2 minutes to go in the period. Announcements coming for Keenan. And I believe that's his first as an Owl as well. Lentz sends it in. Half-board chance. Couldn't get through for Pepe. Past one defender. Stolen. And the Hurricanes with Skinger want to free it up. But Owls do a great job in the neutral zone. Biller here gets around one defender nicely. Skates wide with it off the skate of Remy Kagan, and a breakout potentially. Trying to get there was Louis Del Duco, and an unfortunate icing for Miami.
Yeah, they got tired legs. Going to be real tough challenge for them here to try to come back, but they got to get off the ice this period. Only down 3-0. If they give up another one, it's just going to be very bad for morale, and it's going to be very bad for the scoreboard.
They started pretty good. We didn't have a goal for the first 8 minutes, and they had opportunities, but like you said, just not maximizing their chances. Stabile cuts in front, they score! A beautiful feed in front of the net. That's David Ross.
Yeah, and that's just too easy. And look at Miami right now. It's just they're hanging their heads down low. That was a lack of effort on the defensive side. I mean, you can't let a guy get on the low slot untouched like that and just have basically a tapping goal. You're not doing your goalie any type of favors. And this one looks like a blowout early on.
David Ross is second as an Owl. I think he was set up by Stabile, and if that's the case, he has a goal and assist in this game, number 3. Signed, sealed, delivered. 1:15 to go in this first. Owls have 4 different goal scorers on the board. Very impressive. Miami out of the neutral zone, just trying to find some life in this game. Stabile thinks about having more points, cuts in front, nobody home except Tove. They'll get it back. Bank pass off the near corner. Stabile wanted to put it short side. It went off the back of the goal. Finishing hit on the far end for Ross. Stabile fishes it out. Calling for it in the middle. Ross tried a turnaround shot. Got it back. Pad stop by Hoffman. Along the near boards. They continue the cycle. Finishing the check. Castracani after a steal in the middle. Tove. Oliverio has it. Gets it deeper. 30 to go in the period. Tove directing players on the opposite end. Ross finished hard on the play. Thrown down by Owens. And the Owls still have the forecheck on. 17 to go in the period. Up to the point here for Finn Moore. Gets tied up at the half boards. Now Tove lost his footing and out to retreat. Oliverio. Miami wants a steal. They nearly got it, and now they do. Last opportunity for Castracani. And another easy stop for Bruno with a finishing check laid by Oliverio. It's all Owls at the end of this first period from 4 different goal scorers in this exhibition with the M3 Miami Hurricanes. We head to the break. We'll resume in 15 minutes here from Boca Ice Center. You're watching the M2 Florida Atlantic Owls on Owl TV. We're back with you from Boca Ice Center. A 4-0 lead for the Owls from 3 different goal scorers. Emilio Stabile, followed up by Christian Cuccia, Ronan Keenan, and David Ross. And that's the first goal of Owl careers and M2 players for Christian Cuccia and Ronan Keenan. Devin Serra alongside John Burke. And John, shots were 11 apiece somehow in that first period. Obviously, puck possession dominated by an FAU group, which should take care of business.
Yeah, they should. As you mentioned, 4 different goal scorers. Interesting, as the scores for them last weekend were very condensed. It was more so just Baser and
Murphy.
Murphy getting those goals, but we'll see. We'll see what happens in this period. Let's see if Miami can come out with a little bit more juice. They need to do something early on in this period, maybe lay some hits, maybe get the energy going their way. But if it keeps going how it was, I think they're done for.
And it's great to see the depth, like you mentioned. There's now goals from 3 different lines tonight involving Ronan Keenan's and Christian Cuccia in that third group, who we touted as coming into this, had an opportunity to get on the board. So good stuff to see. With of note, Daniel Tove, number 41, the alternate captain, has 2 assists on the night, along with Stabile with a goal and an assist. As both teams rejoin the fray, Owls will switch sides from left to right, wearing those white and blue pads. The Hurricanes in those green with the orange trim sweaters go right to left. And if you're a Miami group and Tom Amello, who by the way had a player go down early in the period, Lou Brigette, number 2, I'm told is okay, but will be out for the remainder of this game. So if you're a Miami fan, that's good to hear on that side. It was a scary collision with Jackson Neuendijk. What is your assessment so far of the newcomer?
Yeah, I mean, he's absolutely brought the energy. Maybe not getting on the scoreboard so far, but the way he's brought the physicality with every play.
How about that reverse hit he had on Max Mensimer at the end of the period? There's a shot from Miami, another putback try. Good stops from Bruno with both sides of his pads. The clap back from Evan Zadakis wouldn't go, and Bruno, although he hasn't been quality tested too much, that's actually one of the best looks Miami's had of this game. Big collision on the far side with Cuccia and Ryan Y. Y trying to steal away from Seefeld as he wanted to cut towards the net and cut off. Mensimer absorbs the check. Behind Stolen, good in front. Georgiano just missed the goal. Seefeld put him in beautifully, and Cuccia couldn't get a shot off. He was defended by Owens. High stick called if they touch Miami, and they do. The officials saw it the entire way, so that'll stop play.
Yeah, Miami with an opportunity right off the start of the period here. That's what they needed. Would have been really nice to get that in, but really good opportunity here. Win a draw, set the tone.
Set the tone indeed. This Miami group is going to play this M2 team twice this weekend. They'll play from Kendall Ice Arena tomorrow, while the M3 team has today against Jacksonville at 9:45. Miami M3, or FAU M3, excuse me, needing a bounce-back performance, John. They lost 9-1 against USF last weekend, along with Georgia Tech M2. Yeah. Here's Jackson Neuendijk. Got a shot off. Rebound chance, scores! Brady Bezier right on cue, and that's 5.
Yeah, we were just talking about how FAU's scores last weekend were very condensed, and there's the guy we were talking about, Brady Bezier, as he finally gets on the board in this one.
That's the 5th goal already this season for Brady Bezier, playing on that top line. And I think that's going to be the first points for Jackson Neuendijk as an FAU Owl. They'll keep him out there at center. Oliverio and Bezier. And now make that 3 more lines have scored on this game. I say 3 more like there's more than 4. 3 lines have scored as there's a player roughed in the far corner, down on 2 knees. That's Finn Moore for the Owls. And now he'll gingerly get to his skates, and he'll skate back to the bench.
Yeah, that's the last thing the Owls need right now. You got a 5-0 lead. You don't need anybody to get hurt at this current point in time.
No, not at all. And that's a young guy in Finn Moore who's playing a big role for them as a freshman out of Aurora, Colorado. He scored his first goal of his ACHA career against Florida in that win on Friday, 6-0. Draw to the right of Bruno, won by Miami, but they couldn't get a backhand chance for Rafael Morin. Here's Nieuwendyk. Look at this kid fly. Over the right wing. Gets inside, loses an edge. And a nice collision laid out there by Bezier. He levels Miami's 14 and Morin. Centering feed, trying to pick it up. Nieuwendyk can't. Bezier is there to help. Murphy wanted to lift the stick as it's cleared out of the zone by Del Duco. And racing out of the net, Bruno with help from Lentz. This one out of the neutral zone, carried by Bezier again. Him and Nieuwendyk are offside. What did I say, offside? I just heard another whistle there.
Yeah,
John?
the whistles are going crazy here. They're really trying to mess with us, trying to set us up, because it was a close look.
That's 3 on the men's league game going on across from us. It's like a pep rally over there.
There's
That's 4. My goodness. Somebody's having fun there blowing that horn.
Might be watching the stream and having themselves a laugh.
I don't even know if our audience can hear that, but this men's league, oh, you know what it is? It's a drill. Never mind. Here's a chance in front for Keenan, and he whistled it right of the goal. Biller from the half-board, stolen away, and Miami will just dump the puck. That was off the twig of Christopher Henry Skinger, and back to their own zone. And credit to Miami, still able to defensively put up fights. The score says what it is. Of course, it's an exhibition. Now you've got both sides with roughed up players.
Yeah, at this point, you just want to get out of this one with no more bodies hurt. If you're Miami, you want maybe a quick moral victory, but they're just looking dominated right now. That top line of Murphy, Nieuwendyk, and Bezier is just absolutely flying. Doesn't seem like there's much they can do to stop them right now.
The Owls over there on blue line. This is Keenan retreating. Miami player wants a change, calling off the ice. Still has it. He'll take a lap. Keenan all alone over the blue line. Drop pass for Biller. Takes a look towards the net. He scores! Bar down for the captain.
Yeah, beautiful job by the Owls here. Just off the break. Dump off right into the slot. Beautiful shot. Easy goal. And it's 6-0 here. And Miami is just looking to not get blown out by double digits.
The second line, and now Ronan Keenan with his second point. Nice feed, great vision by the captain, who's not necessarily known as a goal scorer on this team. Another on break to the net, and sailing that one over top was Blaise Pepe. Still buzzing, and like you said, this one could get out of hand even more in a hurry, as Miami's just trying to hold on for dear life right now. Shot from the point, blockered away by Hoffman, catches Biller in his skates. He'll skate around one defender. Metzimer boxes him. Keenan between two legs, picking up in a green sweater, and racing out of the right wing is Ethan Block. Lost handle of it. Keenan onside with Biller once again. Biller wanted to feed Keenan on the putback, and Hoffman with his pads had a shot from Keenan. One more from the point, off the skate of Metzimer, and cleared out of the zone. Will it reach the trapezoid? It will. Another icing on the Hurricanes.
Yeah, more pressure from the Owls. We've talked a lot about the top line, but realistically, every single one of their lines has had a lot of really good shifts here tonight. They're looking like a team that you don't want to mess with.
That's great to see for Owl fans, considering they lost a lot of top scorers. We talked about it last week on the broadcast a ton. They have some new pieces here that can fly. Blaise Pepe has looked good, although it's still early. You can expect him to have a couple of goals this year. Cuccia, Georgiano fit the part well. And the one thing that they have over every team right now, at least in M2 and College Hockey South, is depth.
Oh yeah, and it's showing here tonight.
David Ross gets sandwiched. Tove has it. He'll look to cycle it back up top. Oliverio in the net. That one rained the goalpost. Nice tip by Ross. Far half-board chance, well wide. Tove puts it back. He's got 2 assists in this game. For Stabile, who scored on the second goal. Stabile, defended well by Metzimer. Gives it for Tove. Looking to go in front there for Ross. Through his skate, got it back to his stick. Skate wide, put one in front for Stabile. A nice stop by Hoffman. Once again set up, and that one gets through. Stabile, second of the night. Make that 7. And David Ross on the assist.
Yeah, all night, once again, more pressure from the Owls. Miami just cannot defend when they go in deep. It's like he goes in towards the crease, towards the left circle, gets it right out in front, and the defenders just don't know what to do. They've been killing them with that same strategy all night.
First goal scorer we can say with more than one. They have had 6 in this game. And now they're third of this second period, and we're just 5 minutes into it. Devin Serra alongside John Burke. The M3 Miami Hurricanes sitting at 1-0-2-0 on the year. They had 2 overtime losses to Lynn University, and then the week before that, FAU M3. The hero in that one was Drew Renzi, and an M3 team that swept that series, but then last week saw them fall 9-1 to USF and then 6-2 to Georgia Tech. And, you know, they're playing an exhibition themselves against Jacksonville, but they took as many as 18 penalties in that series, John. You just can't do that with a quality team.
Yeah, you got to tighten that up. If nothing else, that has to be the main goal that you look for tonight.
Andrew Yagoda's squad talked about before the season. We have to earn it, and we'll see if they do tonight against the Jacksonville team, brand new to the league, first year in ACHA, first year in College Hockey South, and they're off to a 3-0 start to the year. Owls out of their own zone. Finn Moore back on the ice. Great to see after he got roughed up at the end of the first. Georgiano wants to cut inside to the net. Hoffman made the stop. A rebound, kicks through, and he's got it under his pads for a whistle.
Yeah, more of the same story. If you're the Hurricanes here, what would you do to just try to get some momentum going for you in any type of way?
They're going to have to, at some point, if they get possession neutral zone, go and dump and chase. FAU has done a great job spacing them out, and defensively they're chasing a lot. They're trying to put a hat on a hat, get one man to the puck, but they have got to close the gap quicker on these high-scoring wingers. Murphy, shot from the far angle, well wide by Lentz. Here's Nieuwendyk back out there. Shot from the point, tipped well by Murphy, but a left pad stop by Hoffman. Michelini, the only player in this roster that I remember scoring against the M3 team last week in their 7-4 M3 Owl win. He'll stretch for it. Bezier from his skates. Turn it over. Nieuwendyk, 2-on-1 develops. Nieuwendyk passes it off. One more time back to Nieuwendyk. A shot is down as Hoffman, and he got a piece with the glove.
Great save there by Hoffman. Looked like for sure Nieuwendyk was going to get his first for the Owls, but he's denied.
And Jake Murphy wanted to feed him back. They tried to go, you get it, I get it, you get it back, and it would not go. It's an underrated stop, and Hoffman, I know it's 7-0, but he has at times looked pretty solid. Just his defense has gotten tired.
Yeah, there's not much he's been able to do on most of the goals here tonight.
Bezier with speed, wanted to cut inside. He was poke checked by Mensimer. Nieuwendyk has it back. From the point, Vasilyev's shot was deflected by Koo. Racing over the right wing, trying to start a breakout, Ethan Bloke, and he's turned over immediately by Vasilyev. Vasilyev, the sophomore out of Belmore, New York, in front of the net, and that was off the half boards from the neutral zone. Jake Murphy for Bezier, long shot in, and Hoffman will drop this one. Picked up for Evan Zdakis. Zdakis had an assist against M3 FAU. Mensimer will just dump it in. The Colorado native stays out there. And this Miami group has a little bit of a different roster tonight. Some of their goal scorers that showed up against M3 are not in the lineup. Riker Ferry most notably. Here's an opportunity for the Owls, trying to feed Biller for his second. Pepe has it with, up at the point, Ronan Keenan. He'll take a lap in the offensive zone. Wanted to go past the glove. That one off the elbow of Hoffman. Nice moves by Keenan. Up to the blue line. Get it deeper now. The captain, Biller, feeds for a one-timer blast. Sailed it over the crossbar. Catone feeds it. Pepe, fortunate bounce for Lopes. Went off a Miami player. And Owen Gupta. And like you said there earlier, Miami looked like they're chasing again.
Yeah, I mean, down a touchdown, almost halfway through this game. Not ideal.
Shot for Keenan. That one went through the glove and off of the top of the goal.
But you still have to keep skating. You still got to find something to go out there. Some type of moral victory out of this game is what you have to search for. You can't just let these last 30 minutes be meaningless.
Exactly that. Even though the score says what it does, it's technically not going to count for the rankings or their standings. This is a good, you call it a challenge. Playing teams that are better is an opportunity for you to get better. And they still have half this game to go, 11:05 in the second. Speaking of touchdowns, FAU's football team taking on undefeated Memphis coming up this weekend. That's a big game for an FAU team there, John.
Yeah, if you're an Owls student, make sure you come out to the game. $1 hot dogs and $1 waters for students.
Some nice moves trying to cut to the net. David Ross follow up by Tove off the back of the goal. Wraparound tries Stabile, and Max Hoffman comes up big.
Yeah, going for the wraparound. Hoffman ends up in the butterfly, keeps it out of the net. Like you said, he's made some great saves in this one. When you look at the scoreboard, it doesn't tell the whole story, especially for him.
Yeah, his second year in the ACHA. Last year was Miami's starting netminder for the M2 team. He's from Bryn Athyn, Pennsylvania. He played at Bryn Athyn College, an ACHA Division II team during the 22-23 season. The shot off the faceoff from Oliverio hit a couple of sticks and well out of play. And for Hoffman, you got to think at some point he's feeling the fatigue in here. This is only the third weekend of the season for this M3 team. Bit of an odd schedule as they have been rotating their AC/DC roster from the lower end. Stabile, another shot stopped by Hoffman. Tove got it back. The alternate captain wanted to feed it one more time for the Quebec Canada native, the junior. Watson calling for it, rather put back, scores! Stabile's got his second after Ross put it on goal and make that 8.
Yeah, and that's just a lack of communication defensively there. You had 3 Miami jerseys in the front of the left circle while there was an FAU Owl wide open in front of the net. And just like that, it's an 8-0 ball game.
That is the hat trick for Stabile, John, as Ross picks up his third point of the night as well. It's the first hat trick for an Owl player this season in game number 4. 10:26 to go in the second period.
Yeah, on pace to lose this one 16-0. You got to think the Hurricanes have to do something different.
Cuccia, Georgiano, puck loose. Seafeld got to it, and they get another. Less than 20 seconds later.
I mean, at some point, this just has to become about pride because they're not even fighting right now. Just an easy goal, tap in the front of the net, basically. Defenders putting their heads down, not really manning anybody. They got to really get mentally tough here and try to put something into these last 30 minutes.
Yeah, you said it earlier, have got to find a way to slow this game down because it is all FAU right now. They nearly had an opportunity there, just too far away from Henry Skidger. And now with it, wanted to find some room, Max Phillips, and he can't do it. The Owls take it back in what is now a 9-0 game. The latest goal by Jason Seafeld. That's his first of the night. Owls put it back in front for Cuccia, and that one was deflected a couple of times. For the alternate captain, Brandon, Florida native, Oliverio, wanted to get it for Cuccia, calling for Georgiano. He has a shot into the glove, and that's a good stop for Hoffman to settle things down for the moment.
Yeah, another 3-on-1 fast break here for the Owls. Good glove save by Hoffman. They just really need to get something out of their guys right now. It's all Owls here.
Tom Amelo's a great coach. He's in his 6th season, won the national championship in AAU Men's Division III with this group 2 years ago. That team moved up to the M2 ranks. A little bit less fortunate in that season. It's a Miami program that features 2 men's teams, and they're getting better, along with a new women's team. Just finished up the Columbus Classic last weekend. And one game Miami fans will want to be on the lookout for is tonight, Alabama versus Middle Tennessee. Over the line, Jake Murphy cuts outside of a defender. Good defensive stand by Evan Zadakis, the starting defenseman. Shot from the point. That whistled well wide off of the stick of Henry Bonnet. Getting it back to Lentz. Feeds Jackson Nieuwendyk. Stops, gets around Mensimer. Feeds it deeper for Murphy, showing off the skill. Nobody in particular picked that up, as it was Mensimer to send it the length of the ice. It was tipped by an FAU stick, which results in no icing. Bonnet has it now. The Fort Lauderdale, Florida native, product of DeMatha Catholic Prep, will feed Bezier. And you see FAU not taking their foot off the gas here, still cycling 4 lines, John. And in a situation like this, you'd love to see them give some time for that 3rd and 4th line to get on the ice more.
Yeah, I'd love to see those guys get some work. Right there, Nieuwendyk and Murphy trying to get on the same page. Murphy trying to go back to Nieuwendyk in the left circle, but he was cutting towards the net. To a fast
Bezier, cross-ice feed. Murphy for a chance, and Nieuwendyk open net to shoot. What a stop. Great job by Hoffman. Puck off the side of the goal. Nieuwendyk wants to get to it. Murphy keeps the play going, and we've got a whistle as that came off its moorings. What a job by Hoffman.
I got to tell you, this is the best 9 goals allowed goalie performance I've ever seen in my life. I mean, this guy's really standing on his head out there for some of these saves. You got to give him credit.
He just robbed Nieuwendyk of his first as an FAU Owl. And we're talking about guys getting time. It's good to see Nieuwendyk on the ice with that line. You'd think because he has to find some chemistry with Murphy and Bezier, just starting to skate this week.
Yeah, you said it. They just started skating together this week. Any time together on the line, we'll get those guys absolutely right for this season.
You can tell he has a lot of talent. That puck is way out of here.
Gee, that went over the wall. That went over everything.
The second deck thought they could glove it. It's like you said, over the wall. Can we get a shot of that? That puck sailed probably 40 feet in the air.
I don't think I've ever seen that here at Boca Ice.
That was a home run. They cleared the Fenway, the Green Monster there, the Fenway Park wall. Holy smokes. Here's Ronan Keenan. Defended well out of the zone. Here's Catone to take it back. Some quirky parts to this Boca Ice Arena. Here's some nice moves. Blaze Pepe to the net. Glove stop by Hoffman. In and out of his possession.
I mean, the difference between speed and effort right now is just night and day between these two teams.
Hurricanes just patiently want to set up somebody down the middle. Gets all the way to Bruno, and that'll force a stoppage from Ryan Y. Markham, Ontario, Canada native. But even though this score is getting to what it is, who do you think on this Miami group looks solid enough and competes on this team?
Well, as a whole, they really need to get a little bit better at having more effort throughout every single one of their lines. But I really like how Callahan's looked tonight. He's really kind of been a standout. But if you want to see sustained success from this Hurricane team, what you want to tell them in the locker room is no matter what happens, no matter how much you get down, you cannot come out and put an effort on the defensive side like they have for the majority of this game.
It doesn't get much easier for them. They're in a big field this year, John, in M3. As many as 18 teams now in that conference. Stabile in on the forecheck with Tove. Joined alongside David Ross. This line has put up a couple of points tonight as it's flipped out into the netting by Kyle McGuire. And this roster for M3 Miami, still not the finalized one you're going to see the rest of the year. We talked about some of their notable scratches tonight. They're without Elliot Astulian, Riker Ferry, Parker Gupta, joined alongside what I believe is his brother Owen, number 15, playing tonight. And they've got some talented guys on that Miami roster. A couple of AAA products. They have a really solid goaltender. Hoffman, the score will not tell the story. That was a nice one. Daniel Tove through the 5-hole.
Yeah, he just goes to the crease, goes back to the forehand, and just tucks it in the 5-hole. Beautiful goal there to make this a double-digit lead for the FAU Owls.
6:33 to go in the second. That's now the 8th different goal scorer for Florida Atlantic tonight. And Tove has a goal, and so far on our score sheet, 2 assists. Big points night for everybody. It's going to look good. There's Tove. He bear hugged a Miami player, Ricky Castrocane, trying to get to the puck. And he is unassisted on that one. Tove has it back. Maple Grove, Minnesota product. It's good to see him get on the score sheet as this puck is into the possession of Bruno's glove. For somebody that really deserved on a group that graduated a lot of leadership, the likes of David Israel, by the way, who's watching tonight. We hear you out there in the chat. This junior was injured in a few games at Nationals last year, but he's such a big body. I think he stands at 6'1". What we haven't talked about all night is even though this FAU group is skilled, they also have some of the size to go with it.
Yeah, it's really double trouble, like you said. They're skilled, but they got some size to go along with it. It's not a combination that you see of a lot of teams in this division.
It's a promising sight considering that they are, because of their strength of schedule, a little bit behind the 8 ball in the M2 division this year. As many as 180 teams are in that, and they're trying to get into, at some point this year, a Southeast regional that hosts as many as 12 to 14 teams. And we'll talk about that as later in the season goes on, if this FAU team is in a place to contend. That's the way to Nationals. You get through your regional in M2 and then move on to St. Louis for the 16-team tournament. Oliverio off the far boards. Georgiano past Seafelt. That was nicely defended. Good job by Miami getting out their numbers with Evan Zidakis. This is Michelini in the middle trying to feed Skinger. They're racing after it. Defended well by Finn Moore. The freshman scoops it into himself looking for Cuccia. They have numbers. Georgiano 3-on-1. Georgiano shot saved by Hoffman with no rebound.
Yeah, yet another fast break for the Owls there. Tried to go 5-hole, maybe off one of the leg pads, but a good job by Hoffman yet again to swallow it up.
How about those jerseys for Miami, by the way?
Yeah, you know, it hasn't brought them much luck tonight, but they do look good.
Not as much luck as their football team. Big weekend for that Hurricane group.
Oh, yeah.
I think next week they take on Florida State, and that's going to be a top 10 matchup. I think Miami and Florida State come out with wins this weekend.
Yeah, it'll be interesting quarterback matchup. Castellanos versus Beck. Let's see what they're really made of next week.
Carson Beck feels like he's playing his 11th year of college football. Here's a shot from the high slot, and that one's wide of the post from Callahan, who you called earlier looked pretty good in this game. All things considered for Miami. This one off the stick of Neuendijk from the shot by Ryan Y. 4:21 to go in the second period. Devin Serra alongside John Burke.
Yeah, Callahan's looked good in this one. Let's see if the Hurricanes can try to win a draw and just not even get a goal here. Let's see if they can just try to get some pressure, get some pucks deep, get some hits in, get some physicality going, just anything going for their morale.
And they do win the faceoff. Up at the point. Shot through the middle. Went off a body, that's Lopes. He carries it around his own trapezoid. Past one defender and Koo. Quick passes by the Owls to get onside. Neuendijk with Bezier. Neuendijk showing off some of the skill. Backhands it up to the top of the left post. Tipped from Bezier, and Hoffman will sprawl out to cover.
Yeah, just some tic-tac-toe there from Neuenhauser and Bezier. Really good job by Hoffman again. I mean, he's been outstanding tonight, given everything. This game could easily be 15-16 nothing.
Leading by a touchdown and a field goal are this Owl group.
Yeah, 2-possession game with 3:45 here left in the second.
You know, we can talk football a lot on this broadcast, but I think we'll digress to hockey as much as we can.
Of course.
Here's Neuendijk in that top line again.
Still trying to get some chemistry with that line, as you were talking about earlier.
Yeah, he looks the part. He is as talented as they come. There he is trying to center it up for Bezier. He got it back. From the point. Sidestep, paddle stop by Hoffman. Bonnet, the lone defender, back, and look out. Miami has a 3-on-1. Scoring chance. They'll pass it off. A shot, and that was blocked. The lone defender, Bonnet, somehow found a way to get in front of Rocco Bruno.
Yeah, and that's effort right there. Up in a 10-0 game, not many players want to get in front of a shot and block it. You really love to see that from your guys.
New on Dyke, 2-on-1. Thinks about the shot. He sails it wide. Murphy's there to pick it up. He'll wrap one-timer, and Nieuwendyk sailed it high. Number 92 in white, he wants one badly.
Oh, yeah. You can tell he wants a goal really bad. He wants to join the party.
Our top story coming to this game was the addition. Played in the USHL, NCAA Division I with Canisius. As many as we counted, 56 NCAA Division I games dating back to 2 seasons ago. Cattell from the point. Nice feed in front for Keenan, and just flipped over his stick. Michelini, Vasiliev chops him off. Keenan gets it back. He'll button hook and twirl with it back to his own end board. Second group, they have looked good together, as has this entire FAU group. It's great to see Ronan Keenan get on the board. He's also an underrated talent, so tall as well. It's a very, very good-sized FAU group. Here's Keenan with it. Skates around 3 defenders to get it into Biller in a pocket. Put him in a straitjacket, he scores! Blaze Pepe.
Yeah, just another fast break here for the Owls. I mean, the speed is just way too much. Beautiful pass, get it into Pepe, and he finishes it. 11-0 Owls. And I think it's safe to say this one's getting out of hand.
2 minutes to go in the second. The freshman has knotted one, rather sophomore from Richboro, Pennsylvania. Played with the Philadelphia Blazers AA program. He is a great addition for this team, and that's what you love to see, a young player getting involved in this M2 lineup. And how about that job by Ronan Keenan and Biller, his line mates tonight.
I mean, beautiful setup as a Miami player goes down there. Beautiful setup. Really just great chemistry shown by the team in general tonight. I mean, you don't score 11 goals in 2 periods without having it being a full team effort.
That was Jack Jusko, number 21, who got roughed up. He went to the bench right away for Miami. Once again, it's Stabile has a hat trick tonight, calling for it back. A shot through Hoffman, saved, and picking it up from the far wing, Miami's Callahan. Stolen away by Stabile again. Look at his persistence. Got David Ross there. Skates wide. Wraparound try. And Hoffman seals the post well. David Ross with some speed. Callahan will just flick it out. Went off the linesman and into the possession of Finn Moore. Oliverio stolen for a moment. Persistent effort. Final minute of this second period. Count them up, folks. 7 second period goals here for this FAU group. Drop pass, Tove to the net. Hoffman, 2 quality saves. Stabile for Cuccia deeper. Nobody home in the middle. Moore keeps the forecheck on. Put under the legs of McGuire, and he'll race with it over the neutral zone. Tove, the bigger body, tries to knock him off. Strong legs, wraparound try Bruno, and he sealed his post well. Tove steals it away. They get it up left wing, 2-on-1. This is Cuccia, gives it to Tove, and he didn't put a shot on goal, but the wraparound he finishes.
I mean, once again, just he had a wide open goal if he could have gotten his stick on the puck, but he couldn't. He had to go behind the net all the way to the crease, and he still had time to wrap around for a goal because the defenders just would not get back. 12-0 Owls, and I would not want to be sitting in that Hurricanes locker room at the end of this intermission.
2 goals for Tove. Only one separating his knocks were Blaze Pepe's. And also 2 assists to go with that. 6 to go in the period. Oliverio, 1 last shot on Hoffman, and he'll swallow it up. With 2.5 left, and you're right. At this point, we're just playing through it, seeing what both sides can get out of it. I think Miami had their opportunities at 3-on-1, but what a job defensively by, I believe it was Finn Moore, to get in front of that puck.
Yeah, that's absolutely crazy heart right there. Up 10-0. It's very easy to just not even care. 3-on-1, just put your stick in there, just get out of the way. But putting his body on the line for his team, you know the guy's got to love that.
I actually believe that was Bonnet. Regardless, the clock will run out after that quick face-off, and we are at 12-0. FAU, 8 second period goals. And that is where we sit after 40 minutes of play. So you get more goal scored, a hat trick for Stabile, and Tove adds a couple. We'll be back soon for the finish of this one. You're watching FAU Men's Division II Hockey on Owl TV. Inside Boca Ice Center, the start of the third period. FAU men's 2 taking on Miami M3. 8 second period goals and a hat trick for Emilio Stabile sees the Owls in a dominant performance here. Devin Serra joined alongside John Burke, and the score tells the story. Couldn't put it up more on a script. Some great performances, and the first of the career for Keenan in the Owl sweater. What do you make of that second?
Yeah, I mean, not much more to say about an 8-0 period other than if you're FAU, whatever you just did, you want to do it again. If you're Miami, whatever you just did, you never want to do it again.
I think you made a great point, too, at the end of the second, how Max Hoffman for Miami, even though the score says what it is, he's made some quality stops on a couple of fast breaks for the Owls.
Yeah, you got to give him credit. You got to tip your cap. He's made some outstanding saves. He's been put in an awful position here tonight. The game has been played on that side of the ice pretty much primarily. He's seen so many odd break chances. It's just really tough when your defense is not giving you much to work with.
You know what's an unbelievable fact about this game? We have had 0 penalties on either side. This has been a completely clean game from start to finish.
12 5-on-5 goals might be some type of record.
I don't think we need to be here any longer than we already are.
We might not need to, but let's see what we can get out of these next 20 minutes. See if the young guys can get some experience. See if they can get some more goals on their record.
Yeah, certainly. Miami will switch lanes from left to right. Max Mensimer, their captain, out there to get this top group going. Right to left, Rocco Bruno with this M2 Owl group that has had scoring now on every single line tonight. And they win this face-off. Vasilia forwards it with Kuchia playing a little bit of a different role. We've seen him bounce around. He has a goal, the first of his M2 career with the Owls. He was the player of the year in College Hockey South Division 3 last year. Shot from Vasiliev, stick save by Hoffman. Another chance for Seafelt, foiled by a good defensive poke check by Raymond Owens. Miami regains the offensive zone. Ryan Y sidesteps one defender, got a shot, sailed it over top of Bruno. Put back shot into the glove of the FAU netminder from Evan Sudeikis.
I mean, that's as good of a start as we've seen Miami get off to start the period. They're going to have an offensive zone draw. If you're the Hurricanes, realistically, what you want to do is just come out here and be competitive. Maybe even try to win this period. Say it's a 0-0 game. Let's go out there for our own pride right now. Let's just try to get something done.
They got to turn around quickly and play this M2 group again tomorrow at Kendall Ice Arena, home for this Miami team that traveled an hour north to Boca Ice here in South Florida. Vasiliev back on side with Seafelt. Catone. Quick passes from the Owls. Takes a look towards the net. Shot. And in and out of Hoffman's grasp. Another try by Seafelt. Stepped aside. 3 great stops from the Miami netminder. For an Athens, Pennsylvania native, doing a great job. And like you said, despite what the score says, you got to think of it as a 0-0-1. Just in this exhibition matchup, it's not going to count for either team in their rankings. But you got to play with pride. Here's Seafelt trying to cut inside. Good defensive move by Sudeikis to take it out to the neutral zone. Here's the alternate captain, Oliverio. Some great jobs so far for the sophomore. And here's Jackson Neuendijk, the newcomer. Races in, cuts inside towards the net. Past one defender, still has it on his backhand, switching lanes. Aaron Lentz from the point. Left side for Bezier underneath his skate blade. Getting to it, Oliverio drops it for Neuendijk, who gets past one defender on that far side, and then intercepted by Owen Gupta. Good job. We've talked about him a lot tonight. Of course, Neuendijk, former Division I product, apparently a little bit of a donut surplus tonight. Giving him his flowers. If you know, you know. Aaron Lentz. We see you there, Mr. Stone. Centering feed. Miami's put a shot well wide off the one-timer from Rafael Morin. Oliverio is offside with Neuendijk, and the mighty Neuendijk could not stay on side and get a quality opportunity like he always does.
Who can do no wrong, of course.
Oh, man. if you watch Sunday Night Football, I'm Mike Tirico. I guess you're Chris Collinsworth.
Chris Collinsworth, of course.
I think they're putting it on me a little bit more. I've said it a lot. I think they get it.
I mean, in person, seeing him fly around, seeing those hits, I think if they were here, they would get it.
But it just demonstrates how far the step is from NCAA Division I to ACHA Division II. And we know it's club hockey, but these players take it so seriously still. This is a FAU program. Look out, stolen away, near breakout opportunity by Ryan Y. Good job defensively by the captain, Biller. Races back on side for now. And that's deflected. Miami will flip it out of the zone. It's still a very promising FAU program that takes what they do very seriously. There's real financial investment. They travel around the country to try and make a name, and a program just now re-entering ACHA. Here's a one-timer off of Pepe's stick and saved by Hoffman. It's shown how much club hockey's improved, and the fact that Newendijk wants to come play is a testament to this program.
It's a testament to how far the national reach has gone for club hockey.
And down here in Florida, not a traditional market, and you can say that now back the last 10 years. Of course, the Panthers back-to-back Stanley Cup champions. The college hockey scene has grown a ton. Teams like Tampa have had success, gained national attention. This one is called against, looks like Miami, and we've got our first penalty of the night for roughing.
Wow.
It's Ryan Y going to the box for the Hurricanes.
44 minutes into the game, first penalty. Did not see that one coming.
We still have not enacted a running clock. I thought we would at some point. So, Owls' first power play opportunity of the game. They had a good weekend against Florida. They went 2 for 5 on night one.
And to your point, first power play of the game, 12 5-on-5 goals, unheard of.
It's not like they needed any more help right now. Behind the goal, Stabile. Looking to race after it. David Ross fed it in front, looking for Daniel Tove. Miami defensively, great job putting the box in effect in front, not allowing them to center it. Stabile, just too strong from Henry Bonnets. Pass across. Tove gets back on side with Ross. He'll skid around one defender. It's back for Vasiliev. Second power play unit out there. Stabile has it. He's got a hat trick tonight. Vasiliev directs traffic from the point. Want it deeper for Tove. Some good practice here. Bonnet and a stick save into the netting for Max Hoffman.
Yeah, just some good work here for the boys. Just trying to get some power play work in, trying to swing it around, find the open man, get it on ice. Nothing much here more for Miami than, like we said, going for a moral victory. If they can get a kill here, that would put them at 100% on the power play kill. And, like we said, if you're searching for some type of moral victory, there it could be.
Yeah, the only penalty of this game. You like to see that, considering that it's been as one-sided as the score shows. Finmore, Miami player, blew a tire behind. Want to drive to the net. Seefeld on the short side. And they say it's in.
Well, so much for the 100% power play kill.
No silver linings for this Miami group. It's a power play goal for Jason Seefeld.
Interesting one on that one. I think nobody really knew whether it was in or not. Goalie raised his hand, pointed towards the net to let everybody know, and it's a 13-0 ball game.
Some good showmanship. FAU, a bit of a less than crazy celebration, understanding the situation we're in here. 13 goals. That is a doozy. Georgiano, sophomore, moved up from M3 last year. Cuccia, his line mate, and Michelini stole it away for the Hurricanes. They'll race over the red line. Got finished by Cuccia. Catone has a shove a man off. Things are starting to look a little more chippy, and now they're going to see that, and it looks like they're going to send both guys.
Yeah, it's 13-0, so
Let's see. Okay, they're going to let Finn Moore and Miami's Owen Gupta skate away. Last thing you want to see is this game start to get like that.
Yeah, you don't want to get completely out of hand. Tempers are high. Obviously, if you're Miami, you're down 13-0. It's embarrassing, but you got to keep your tempers in control here. Just try to get a goal on. Just don't get shut out. That should be their goal right now.
Georgiano quickly over the line. Go wide. Boxes out a defender. Lentz waits on it. One towards the goal. Redirected. Banked off the end board. Seafelt is there. Help with the blue line from Bonnet. It's Georgiano again. Backtracks. Lentz holds the line. Cuccia called for it. Never received it. I will stay onside. Close, nearly offside. Cuccia once more for Seafelt. Hoffman stopped that one. It's loose in the crease. Georgiano has it free and will skate from the far corner boards. Cuccia one more time. Fed it out in front and not able to pick that one on. Seafelt. Once again, Lentz holds it. Bonnet to chase it. He'll get deeper. Owls get 4-man deep to the zone. Now Cuccia will swap. Cross-ice feed. Tipped out of play by Max Phillips.
Yeah, more of the same here. Whole game being played in the Owls' offensive zone. You got to think at some point Miami's got to get something going.
They're looking for anything to take into tomorrow. It's 13 minutes to go with the third period, and a reminder about M3 FAU taking on Jacksonville following this game, but we will have a little bit of a delay. Jacksonville, we are told, had a problem with their bus on the way here, so we are looking at a 10:30 p.m. puck drop. It's a late one. Hope you stay up with us. Baser to the net, saved by Hoffman. Actually, I think that might have got blocked in front by Mensimer. The captain has been a bright spot in what has been a tough go of it for the Hurricanes. Almost an own goal. That one tipped towards the net by Sudeikis. Hoffman had to be ready. Mensimer picks up his stick behind the play. That's the last thing you want to see in this one. Nieuwendyk.
Yeah, that would have been the cherry on top right there if they would have gotten an own goal. I feel like that's the only thing that hasn't gone wrong for them here tonight.
Yeah, it's already 13. And I think you're right. This Miami group is not what the score shows. You got to remember, some of these guys won a national title in AAU Division III just 2 years ago. And M3.
It'll be very interesting to see how these guys come out tomorrow night after the, well, I don't know how to put it, the shellacking that they got here tonight.
I like to use the word thumping.
There's a lot of words you can use. None of them good.
Yeah, and still a great, well-coached team. Tom Amello with Sam Stone, assistant coach there. They're a very interesting group. There's the highs and the lows, and they're going to learn from this one. There's a one towards Hoffman from, I think that was Finn Moore, got through a couple of bodies. Tie up at the blue line. Miami is out. And back to retrieve it is Moore. Lower Colorado native, Keenan with a goal tonight, sailed it high. And Ronan Keenan's looking at a puck after this game for his first as an Owl.
Always nice to see that.
An M3 Miami team. 1-0-2 on the year. They have technically not lost in regulation yet. That's not technically, they have not. This will be their first, but.
Well, they could get 2 touchdowns. You never know.
Oh, thinking about football tomorrow, are you?
Always.
FAU takes on Memphis. A very, very good American Conference team. Leon Biller wanted to feed Keenan. Good job defensively getting in front of that puck was Ricky Castracani. Blaze Pepe. Move step by Castricani. Biller. Fed Keenan. He's got one defender to beat. On the back check, an opportunity for Pepe. That went off the backside of a Miami sweater. Soft shot on Bruno, stick to side. Back over the line. And we'll just play the neutral zone. Biller. Kind of got away with an offside, cuts to the net. Never got the shot off. Good job of getting cross-checked behind. Max Phillips is down, no call. Aaron Lentz from the blue line wanting to find Pepe, and it went off his stick towards Louis Del Duco. This Miami group, we mentioned tomorrow, scheduled for an 8 p.m. puck drop from Kendall Ice Arena. Be sure to go to Miami's YouTube page to find that one. We'll get a stoppage, and they're going to send somebody here for those shenanigans in front of Hoffman. And I think it's an owl going. That looks like number 28. Or is it Biller? Can't tell if that's Henry Bonnet or Biller yet. 9:09 to go in this third. Miami power play coming up.
Yeah, let's see if they can get something going. You know, their first power play of the night. We've talked all period about moral victories. No, actually, it's an FAU power play coming up. Oh, it's
4-on-4. So they did
Gotcha.
send both guys. I only saw an Owl player go to the box. I guess I missed the Miami guy.
A little tough to see from our angle who's going to the box.
And they did not put the numbers on the board, so I have no clue who that's against for Miami. Regardless, Stabile and some open ice. He's got a hattie and a couple of assists. Centering feed, nobody home except a green sweater. Keeping along. Now they finally put on the board some numbers. We'll get that in a second. Michelini from his own trapezoid will hook. Race up the far wing. That's called closing hit by two Owls. David Ross in there, along with Stabile. In front of the net on Bruno. First and second try, nothing coming there. And in the box for both sides on Miami, it's Ricky Castricani. And they did, in fact, put Henry Bonnet in the box. Coming up for this Miami team, if you're thinking about their M3 schedule, they'll play Embry-Riddle in October. So they'll have actually 2 weeks off here after this series is done, John. And then they'll take on Tennessee. And then once again, Florida Atlantic, and I believe that's the M3 team. So they've got some ranked games coming up that will count for their standings.
Yeah, they just got to take what they can from this game, try to forget about it, try to put on a good effort tomorrow night, take those 2 weeks, watch some film, rest, and get ready for ranked play, as you said.
Yeah, these are exhibitions, but they all count somewhat the same for these players, considering they both have, these two sides, things to clean up. Miami coming off a win against Lynn, and there's a save by Hoffman off a shot from Georgian, or Vasiliev rather. They've got things to clean up. This was not obviously their cleanest game. If there's anything that Miami can take away, just one thing, what do you think it is?
I would say, if I was Miami's coach, what I would tell them was that the effort on the defensive end at times was just unacceptable, because it's not like FAU was absolutely just running an insane offense. It was just mostly effort on most of their goals. Defenders were not in right positions, guys were not rotating, and when you're down 4-0, 5-0, it's easy for that to compound, and that's exactly what we saw happen here tonight. So if I'm them moving forward, I think what they can learn from this is to not let those mistakes compound, keep your head in the game, and don't let it happen. Don't let it happen again. It's embarrassing to lose 13-0. Nobody wants to be on that end. You saw tempers flaring. So we'll see what they can do next time.
4-on-4 is over. Straight away to the bench for FAU goes Henry Bonnet, along with Miami's Ricky Castricani. 6:57 to go. Vasiliev has it. The sophomore will backtrack. pursuing man. Callahan drives him into the boards, and they're going to get Callahan here and some more coming in to help him. Oliverio, 2 Owls, and a shoving match down on the ice. That's one player, Skinger, for Miami. He'll skate away. Owen Gupta's there. He's got a handful.
Still throwing jabs.
And there's more coming. The first man to jump in that pile was the defenseman, Finn Moore.
They're still jawing.
Callahan took out the Owl behind the net. And now they'll all skate away. And Finn Moore, you got to be careful here. He's going to argue his case. Linesman's ultimately going to take him there. They're laughing about it. I understand defending your man there.
Yeah, I can't get mad at him. That was a completely unnecessary hit by the Hurricanes, sending him into the board like that. Got to defend your guy. It's a 13-0 game. He's not trying to finish his hit. He's just trying to get a cheap shot off. So,
regardless, Callahan will stay out there, and Max Mensimer is going to talk. Now they're going to send Callahan. They're going to call this coincidentals for now, and we could get a lengthy conversation. We saw last week in M2's game against Georgia Tech a long conversation that took as many as 5 minutes for them to figure out all of the penalties after there was a Donnybrook behind the goal.
Yeah, you don't want to see this one get out of hand, that's for sure. Want to have a stern talk with the guys. You know, it's 13-0. Everybody knows the stakes. Let's just have a clean finish to the game. No need for any extracurriculars.
And I believe they're going to possibly tell Callahan that's your night. If you're just joining us, there's too many players to count that scored in this one, but it's a lot. The highlights are Stabile has a hat trick, number 3 for the Owls. Quebec, Canada native. Ronan Keenan scores his first as an Owl, the Lawrence, New Jersey transfer. Product of UNLV's Division I team, and played for the Tampa Bay Juniors. Florida guy from Seminole High School. Who do you think maybe is an underrated performer tonight for FAU?
I think an underrated performer tonight for FAU was actually the goalie, Bruno. You know, he's made a lot of good saves. They had a lot of fast breaks, but he's on his way towards a shutout. You know, it's hard to pinpoint one guy when you're up 13-0. You talk about the goal scorers. I think it would be quicker to run through the list of guys who haven't scored for FAU. But Bruno really played a great job in net tonight. He did a good job holding his own. Good job by the defense in general, too. They didn't get too many good chances, didn't sustain any pressure. Just all-around great team effort, honestly.
We're seeing 15 shots after 2 periods for Miami. Looking at possibly a 20 save if we get there. You know the acronyms, folks. I'm not going to be blamed for no jinxes now. You know what I'm saying? I've learned my lesson on that. You know, a couple of years ago, just a sidebar, I was calling a game for Central Michigan, and there was a notable goaltender in net who was really having a solid game against a really good team, and we got like 2 minutes within, and I was saying the words, you know, those words, and yeah, the opposite team ended up, I think, getting close to tying that game. They had a goal like right after I said that, so it's real. I'm not going to let it happen to me.
And we don't have any wood here to knock on when you say it either, so it's best to just...
Yeah, just let it go. Right, just let it go. Now there's a power play for... Oh, is there a power play? No, they're going to put a penalty on Miami here, and I missed it. Cross-checking on Gupta.
And not much is going right here for the Canes. They can't even bat the puck in the air to themselves. Just not a great night to be a Miami Hurricane.
It's the second penalty for roughing on Miami. And what's not been a very open ice game, penalty free. It's been pretty clean up until that most recent kerfuffle from Callahan finishing his check. Here's Jackson Neuendijk. Drops it for Biller, gives it to Catone. They'll stay on side. Biller, left wing, the captain waits. Back up to Neuendijk, manning the blue line here. We see him playing a defensive role, swapping places. Biller from the left side, shot on Hoffman, stick save, trying to close it in front, and flipping it over the pads and out of play was Ronan Keenan looking for a second. 55 to go in the power play. And a reminder coming up after this, FAU Men's Division III takes on ACDC Jacksonville from the American Collegiate Development Conference. Their coach, Derek Lodermeyer, fun fact about him, he is the longer tenured Jacksonville Iceman from the ECHL in their club's history. That's the third tier affiliate. I forget what team exactly from the NHL. And they've got a new roster featuring some pretty talented guys. See if this M3 team can have a bounce back performance after losing their last two. At the point, Lentz moves it to the left wing. Georgiano throwing about a one-timer. Lentz faked it. Back to the right side for Bonnet towards the net. Pad stopped by Hoffman. Lentz waits. He's defended well. Facing him up, Louis Del Duco. 24 to go in the power play. Georgiano towards the net, and that one scores. Might have been a soft screen in front of Hoffman, and call it 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I don't know if Hoffman ever even saw that one. A lot of traffic up in front. And like you said, Owls go up 2 touchdowns now, and there's 5 minutes left in this one.
If that is Georgiano without a tip, that's his first as an M2 Owl.
I do not think it got tipped. I just think it got through clean, and Hoffman never saw it.
So there you go. If you're wondering what the D3 talent would do, Cuccia and Georgiano both each a goal tonight. 5 minutes to go in this one. Blaze Pepe has it. Pepe, the talented sophomore, will try and get in the middle for Cuccia. And Hoffman's just going to hold his post and seal this one up. We appreciate you all tuning in here, all the Miami fans along with our FAU supporters. Great chat tonight. They've been really active.
Yeah, very lively chat. They maybe didn't appreciate our glazing, as they called it.
You said the word, didn't you? Oh man, it's a pop trendy word, I guess. You know, I think the funniest part is when you see like the videos online of like the AI edited announcers where they're like
just saying the most unhinged things.
Yeah, like the mighty Mahomes thing, the whole just like in general, you know, NFL is an easy one. Or like I see a lot that are like McDavid. McDavid gets a lot of them where he's just like God, and he can't be upended, can't be touched. I think Panther fans have fun with that one because they've obviously lost. The Oilers have back-to-back Cup finals to the Panthers. That puck's way out of play. Hey, somebody go get that.
Almost took somebody out in the second deck here.
Let's see. I think a fan's got it. It went into the...
Is it in a coat rack? What is that?
That's the scrap extra equipment rack. I think it's a lost and found.
The search is on for the puck, and I think it's been found. One lucky fan is going away with a great souvenir.
She's got a red FAU sweater on. I don't know what player. There you go. How about that? Remember earlier in the second, we had a puck fly way out of here over the, I called it, it's like the Fenway Park wall. It's on the second deck, and it's, there's a small gap between the rafters and the white wall here at Boca Ice Center. Bit of a quirky setup we have here with the upper balcony. 3:30 to go in this game. We are just winding it down. Devin Serra alongside John Burke tonight. Our producer, Mitch Liswith, doing a great job as always, and along with this Owl TV staff. We'll be with you all season long at home here. And also a reminder to check out the game tomorrow, as on YouTube, you can check out the Owls at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. As I scramble to find the channel name, University of Miami Club Hockey. So look that up on YouTube at 8 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. It's Neuendijk forced to move the puck to the opposite wing. Bezier playing there with Keenan to the net. Hoffman, nice save. Neuendijk And that one's called, I believe, for a high stick.
Yeah, interesting to see the lines here. He's still got Nieuwendyk out there. They're definitely trying to build some chemistry for the season.
A new look line. We have not seen this all night. Bezier with Keenan, Nieuwendyk, and the likes of Finn Moore at the blue line with Catone. Now Bezier on the ice. 2:27 left. Over the Miami blue line, Max Metzimer, who's had a busy night, starting defenseman out of Colorado. Put it into the skates of Ryan Y. Catone, just some quick passes. Owls come back. Nieuwendyk can't get around a defender. Poke check by Zadakis. Bezier pinned to the boards. And once again, get it to Ronan Keenan. He'll go back up top for Finn Moore. Bezier flipped into the air. Nieuwendyk has it. Go cross ice. Shot towards Hoffman. In and out of possession, and he'll just scoop it back from Henry Bonnet. 1:34 left. It is 9:11 Eastern time, so you will have to wait an hour and change for M3 FAU and Jacksonville ACDC.
Should be worth the wait, though.
Sure. We'll have an abbreviated post game. Great job, by the way, tonight, John. First time for us on the call together.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Couldn't have picked a much better game for FAU to do it.
No, you couldn't. As a FAU supporter, I think you are. You know, you've seen this team develop, and even dating back to last year. You know, what is your first impressions of this new look for FAU?
Well, obviously good impressions when you win 4-0. But it's, as we have a breakaway here.
Stabile upended that. And that's an exclamation mark on this one there.
It's always tough to lose as many guys as they did and then come back next year and play with the same tenacity. But it looks like they surely do.
Tenacity is a good
this
word
is a
for it.
Deep team. They're strong. They're skilled.
And it looks like we'll get stoppage once again. Finmore crashed in hard. You're right. They replaced their talent well. And they look like every line has a bit of an identity, as cross-checking is called. The identity I see from that top group is a lot of skill, a lot of speed. You see some guys are more scrappy than others. Oliverio, Tove looks like a very promising forward to sort of dig those pucks free. Everyone on this team is starting to develop their roles.
Yeah, they definitely have the skill. What's key for them is developing the chemistry upon those lines, finding the right combinations, finding the right defensive pairs, and I think the sky's the limit for this team.
Sky is the limit for the AAU Division II champion Owls. So great to see them break through last year after they were upset by Florida the year prior. Last opportunity towards the net. Bonnet's shot is saved off the blocker of Hoffman, and it's clear down the length of the ice. It was all FAU in this one. Stabile with the hat trick. Keenan's first as an Owl, and they thump Miami. 14-0 win. Rocco Bruno's 5th shutout. The junior from Pennsylvania gets love from his team. And Jackson Nieuwendyk, in his debut for this M2 Owl team, comes away with an assist on a Brady Bezier goal. John Burke, final thoughts tonight as we wrap this one up.
Well, it'll be interesting to see tomorrow night how FAU tries to keep the momentum into that one and how Miami can bounce back after such an awful defeat. It'll be
So, a reminder for tomorrow, you can catch this M2 FAU team versus M3 Miami. John, will let you finish your point in a second.
Yeah, as I was saying, go on.
Okay, I was going to say, you can watch that game on the University of Miami Club Hockey YouTube channel. Search that in your YouTube tab. 8 p.m. Eastern time. You can catch that Kendall Ice Arena, home of the Miami Hurricane team. But let's get your final thoughts now.
As I said, losing 14-0 is obviously be tough to come back to. It'll be very interesting to see how they bounce back from the game. And if you're FAU, it'll be even harder to stay mentally focused. You just came out and beat a team 14-0. It's hard to lock in for a game when you play them the very next night. So tune in tomorrow night. Should be in for a good one.
Yeah, on, like we said, the University of Miami Club Hockey YouTube channel. So for our entire production crew, John Burke, our producer, Mitch Liswith, my name is Devin Serra. We thank you for watching this presentation of M2 FAU hockey. Coming up in an hour and change at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, FAU M3 versus Jacksonville ACDC on Owl TV. So long, and we'll see you later.